Hi, I'm Cass with CRN.com. I am here at Women of the Channel East with the one and only Lisa MacKenzie. How are you?
I'm great. Happy to be here.
I know, Christmas in New York. What's better?
It's the best.
Nothing. So we're celebrating 15 years of Women of the Channel, and it was your brainchild. So tell us where it all started.
Yeah, so working with the channel company back in like 2009. At the time I was running sales, and we had all these, events, exchange and things, but they were 98% men's. And so the women started informally gathering, and we thought, oh, maybe there's something here. And started with a content session and a cocktail party. And it was so popular and nobody wanted to leave. And what we realized was there was a value in the women that work in this industry getting together and sharing experiences. That was something you don't have when you're in a room full of men.
Yeah.
And there's a vulnerability and an honesty that comes with that, and it's so uplifting. So we thought, we're onto something, and we launched an event 15 years ago, and here we are today. And I think the first event had about 60 people.
Yeah.
So it's come such a long way. It's global. It's twice a year. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't be prouder of where this has gone, but it's really about the women. Come, they connect, they like it, they come back.
Yeah. One of the things that you mentioned is that it's global. So we've got Women of the Channel East, which is always in December, Women of the Channel West. We've also got Singapore. We heard earlier that we're launching in London. I mean, we're, multi-country, multi-fascinated, area. And I think, how does that feel knowing that it started with 60 and now we're on 4 different continents?
Yeah, it's great. And we actually, before I left the company, we launched in UK. We did 2 years in London and we did 2 years in Singapore. And it was, of course, 2020. So,
just that little tiny thing that happened to the global
a reset on it. But what we learned was that while women all are experiencing the same things from, the same issues you'll hear here, the way that women interact, the way that they want to support each other, and sort of lift all boats, is universally the same. However, how they go about it is very different from a content standpoint.
Yeah.
So that was one of the big lessons learned. And I think that reset really helped find partners in country too, who really understand
what's unique about the space.
And the uniqueness of what's going on there.
That's great. So one of the things we talked about was I presented the research that we do every year as well. This is, I believe, the 10th year or maybe 11th that we've done a research study looking at what is the infrastructure and how are women experiencing life in the channel. And we talked a lot about intergenerational change and leadership. So what do you see as that's happening from generation to generation? Now that you have birthed this thing and we're a whole new group of people is coming to the channel for the first time. We've got, Gen X, Gen Zs, millennials, boomers, silent generation. What do you see changing over the course of the channel?
Yeah. Interestingly enough, I don't feel a lot of change in the room.
Wow,
that's interesting. The fundamental of why people come here hasn't changed. It's network, connect. I was just talking to someone who said, it's so valuable for me and my team to come here and reflect personally, professionally, think about what I could be doing differently in my organization to make it a better place to work. And that really hasn't changed. The conversations, the things we're dealing with, and AI, I feel like I come in here and I'm like, whoo, and what's going on? I've aged out. But I think generationally, the same fundamental issues are there. And I was, pouring through the research and saw that, for some of the younger generation, they're even more worried about some of the things we've been talking about. Yeah. So it's only the needs that I think might be unique to us are resonating, and maybe even more so with the younger generation, like the having more time off, having, healthcare, and that kind of came over pay, which I think, in my generation was about how much money I could make and how far could I go. And that to me is the biggest difference. Now the things that fundamentally drive them to choose a career and a job and what company they're going to work for have changed. It's much more about what are you going to do for me?
Yeah.
I think that's fabulous because that's what this was about.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
So one question we did have from stage was, what advice would you give your younger self? So I'm asking you, Lisa MacKenzie, what advice would you give your younger self looking back?
I'm not a person who looks back what I could have done differently. Every decision I made, everything I did in my career led me
to where you are now.
To where I am.
Yeah.
And I'm really thankful for that. But, I would have said don't sweat the small stuff, probably. Don't let everything become internalized and make you sick. It's just, as you get older, you start to realize you let stuff roll along.
Yeah.
So I think that's really important too, because, it's very daunting as a young person and, relatively new in your career and trying to figure out what to do. And there's so much time and energy spent that really doesn't produce anything positive. So that would be.
Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for your insights, and thank you for your vision that brought us here.
So excited to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for listening. We are so excited to be here at Women of the Channel and to take it back globally. If you would like more information about Women of the Channel or any of the research that we've done, you can check us out on crn.com.